at you today with a Veve Omi update video. Guys, if you're new, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. I love you all. Everyone say, where's Dashi? Where's the Dashi? Can we get the Omi homies in here? What's going on? Hello, guys. So it's been a great while since I've seen you, since about November of last year. Tell me, what has your greatest adventure been since the last time we have spoken?
I interview a member of Realty. They do the playlist. People sing.
Probably on the comment.
Friday night music.
So did you guys go to Midtown Comics in New York? What was the reaction to that?
First of all, it was
really just me hanging out.
Second of all, I got an exclusive
It really is.
silk
Funny.
cover for
You can put that.
You still get the baby cookies?
Oh yeah, Midtown Comics. I'll send you a picture.
Oh my God, please do.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was a really cool place.
Okay, that's great.
And they had a whole bunch of
And people like come in and they sing. They
Yeah, so
fucking
it was really
karaoke.
cool.
So we have had many
Darian in here.
terrific, both good and bad things happen in the last
The blonde with the checkered
8
pants.
months since we last saw each other. What do you think has had the most
She sings all the time, yeah.
important
She was like,
impact on your lives?
American Idol. She was a contestant on American Idol.
Baby related?
It could be either. It could be Veve related. It could be personal. Whatever you want to share.
Since we last saw each other, do you want to answer?
I do have an answer.
Go ahead.
No, no, go ahead. You go.
I think the most important impact has been like just us.
Wrap it up.
Like coming home from DCON, we were like, man, we want to do this more often. No, and that's what has been like
Very disappointed.
But you're right. It is a brewery.
And do like Veve fan,
Well,
like
actually, officially
meetups and
it's-
stuff like that. So
It's in the name.
and
It is in the name.
Likewise, I would
the whole
say,
way. He's like, we don't call it a pub over here, it's a brewery. And I'm like,
It's literally called a pub.
and the
I know
fucking
this
name's
might
called
sound
pub.
corny, but patience and love, unconditional love.
Totally.
What exactly taught you or gave you that extra comfort towards patience and love?
I think, and not to go into great detail, but going through struggles with someone that you love, and seeing them in really bad shape, and knowing that sometimes there's no words or nothing that you can do other than give unconditional love and
Like
patience
this place is not going to have good shit.
and time.
You don't go to a
Okay.
That helps you get through hard times and struggles.
Has that affected what you guys do as far as okay? All right. Has that affected what you guys think of as far as investments, or has that not had any impact at all?
It's had a lot of impact because I think when you go through struggles, whatever it looks like, whether it's like medical, mental, whatever, it can put a stop on putting more into investing.
They have like a truck, the media truck.
But also, we've learned how to retain the patience that we're doing in real life with our investments, and just know that like if our what is that word where like you're so like you believe in it so much.
So your level of conviction.
Conviction is the word I'm looking for. The conviction is so strong that even when stuff seems to like dissipate, like the conviction is so strong that we're gonna be okay. You know, just let it ride and we'll be back.
I think also because we went through that hard time and that struggle, having our previous investing, that's what's helped us. Like, okay, we may not be able to put more in, but when we could, we put all we had
The slangs are different.
Conviction, exactly. So,
Totally different.
whenever you have a time to like, when you're clearing the dust coming out of the storm, if you have the ability to invest, not financial advice, but it makes you feel like at least you have something going for yourself. If you have another hard time around the corner, you just never know.
All right. So nothing has wavered your conviction yet. Is there anything that could?
On Veve or on investing or
On Veve for now, because that's what everybody,
no.
We're prepared to die on this hill if necessary.
All right.
We love the fam, we love the product, we love the Veve team.
Call us moon boys and moon girls if you want, but we're prepared for that.
We're okay with it.
Let's get this bread, boys.
Bread, baby.
Let's get to some of the comments. Pound it. All right. So the comments is Smart Buy says comment. Me Holmes give me. He's like, what's up, Bill Gardner? Smartwatch beds. Sorry about the sound quality. Randy gonna have the most shredded shoulders after the streaming. Boots on the ground. Can't hear them. Sorry. Hopefully you can hear them a little bit better now. Yeah, we're gonna get rowdy tonight. I am pretty inebriated. Vidimon. Cosmic Ray says hi, Justin B. Were you at the con? I was looking for you, Cindy. Justin B. Justin Bieber? I don't know who Justin B is. Electro level sound. Sorry about the sound quality, guys. Hey, what's going on? Yeah, new Harley Quinn is interesting, but I think if anyone's ever played video games, you will know that sometimes the ugliest piece of armor gives you the most stats, and it's the one that helps you to get to the final boss. So I don't judge on quality like other people will about, let's say, like Harley Quinn's or Electra. I judge based on how it makes me feel. And I'm not going to lie, it doesn't make me feel anything, but just in that whole thing, you know, in general. It's like we are having a lot of fun. We just got repping Veve, trying to rep as hard as I can. Yes, I have pictures with David Yu. I'll post more of them later. I can't do a flip. I don't know why they want me to do a flip, but I'm going to go interview more people. Is there anything else you would like to say to everybody?
We love y'all.
We love you guys. We love Randy. He's like my soul brother.
Oh my God, thank you so much. That means the world. Thank you guys for all the love. If y'all want the horizontal view, I could also, oh no, I can't. Taps, my friend. So do you mind being on stream?
No.
Okay, so you left him hanging there. All right. So Taps, in the last several months since we have been on stream together at DCON, how has your definition of beauty changed in the world?
What do you mean beauty? Do you mean like on a personal level, or do you mean like seeing like landscape, or what do you mean?
I mean, to you, has the war in Ukraine, or has the recession, or has anything, has it taken your views and skewed them at all? Are you more jaded now, or are you more ambitious than ever?
That's what my marriage is. We're completely opposite.
So that's a two-edged sword question. So
Yeah, they do. We're exactly.
I believe the world is going
My wife would never
more
step foot in
negative
the
because we were stuck inside for 2 years, and then now we're starting to branch out, and there's like looming threat of us being stuck inside again.
She did it kind of,
And so more of the world is actually starting to like act out. So there's more negative things happening. Like there was a shooting recently that was terrible.
No, that's
I think Russia to Ukraine was like, Putin's getting old. And like, for them, like, how do you leave a legacy? You invade a country that's been talked about invading
I
for
was
20
just
years.
picking it off.
And I think that's what's happening with China too. I think China's going to actually invade Taiwan, and then we're going to have to send troops. It's going to be terrible. And like that all together is going to create a recession. However, I think technology has advanced so fast over 2 years, and I also think that like people were forced to make communities like ours over like online, on the line, and I think there's like a weird mix of like terrible and beauty, and I think that's like the perfect mix, right? It was just like there's terrible, and there's like hyper terrible, hyper beauty.
So you think there's a barbaric yet beautiful, graceful world? Oh, hi Wendy. So you think there's a barbaric yet beautiful way to humans?
So I used to play D&D. Big surprise, I'm a nerd. I think the world right now is chaotic lawful. Because it's so hyper different.
And what's your interpretation of chaotic lawful?
Terrible with an equal amount of great.
So do you think that? So do you think that now is the worst time in how long? In how many years?
We're not at the worst time.
Agreed. I think that we only get better as time goes on, for the most part.
I think we have more worse to go. Honestly, so
In what way?
I think we have more turmoil to go through over the next 6 months.
You said you didn't want to be on the
My
screen.
food is still on its way.
Okay, more turmoil over the next 6 months.
More turmoil over the next 6 months.
Wrap it up.
And then I think it'll be like a stagnant period, and then we'll start regrouping. Because for the most part, like, a lot of things have happened, but like, it hasn't sit in from a worldview versus just like, this is my country, this is terrible. This is my country, this is terrible. But I think there's gonna be enough things collaboratively that are going to be like really negative. They're going to affect everything.
So you're not talking about just finances.
No, I'm talking about like whole like world order. Like finances obviously like drives turmoil. Unfortunately, like that's
Is that where we're going now?
that's what happens. Is like when the world markets collapse, it creates poverty, it creates less jobs, it creates. I mean, look at our gas stations, right? Like,
Hey, what's up, Akil Batterson?
I feel like I'm.
I come on screen, everyone's gonna comment.
I feel like I'm being super negative during a stream. I should not be being negative on.
No, it's okay. We want to hear your worldviews, and we want to hear why you think them, because I think the opposite. I think that as bad as things get, I think that technologies and there's a lot of political strife about Facebook, about Twitter, but I also think that helps people connect. I think that helps people realize that they're not alone. Hey, what's up, Dino?
Oh, what's up?
But the difference is these technologies that connect people are still companies with balance sheets and real world problems. And those companies are starting to actually realize that. And I see that with the companies I'm talking to, which I can't name. But you never know. It could rebound back. However, I do think there's a lot of things happening. I've said, I think I said since like November, that there's a possibility of recession. Probably won't happen unless it's like a collection of things. That collection of things has built up, and I think it's just like one more thing until it's like there.
Yeah.
So like we're down, we could rebound. I hope we do. And then if we don't, then we fall into recession.
Okay.
But it won't be like a recession like 2001. It won't be a recession like 2008 because technology has advanced.
So you think like a 2020 recession and we get a K-shaped recovery?
No, it won't be a V like 6 months.
So somewhere in between.
Like a year or two.
Okay. All right. So you think that what's going to pull us out of that is going to be the 2024 Bitcoin halving?
It always falls a few months after, but I think 2023 with ETH 2.0 will make a solid bump.
So you think there's no ETH 2.0 this year?
Realistically, if you think Veve Omi puts timelines out, look at any other major L1, and you'll be like, oh, okay. And guess what? Those L1s, up.
Yeah.
Have you seen Solana's failures lately?
Oh God, yeah.
But guess what? They're still way up, like long term from if you started like in the early days. But yeah, so like I hope it doesn't go that way realistically, but I'm always considering. That's why like I keep telling people like I'm like slowly DCAing a little bit. Like I'll grab like 500,000 Omi, like $1 million here. But I'm waiting. If the market goes down, that's when I buy an uncomfortable amount of Omi. And I try to catch you.
I like that.
And I try to catch you.
Why I think you might not catch me is because you put the timeline out so long, like a year and a half, 2 years. And I think that if you were to try to catch me this year, you probably could. But if you spread it out, so like I'm not going to buy until next year or whatever, that's why I think you might not. Veve Fam Bam, how's it going?
Oh, I'm doing good. Apparently, we're supposed to represent some Telescope right now.
Okay.
We're like, hey, Telescope!
Oh man. So we're talking about Telescope?
Yeah, we can talk about
We got a shout out. Shout out to Telescope!
What can you tell me about why you guys invest in Telescope and why you think it's important to put money there?
So, what's up everybody? You have an NFT project. How do you keep your community engaged?
For me, it would be marketing. It would be having people making content.
So you have a consistent amount of money to always fuel that community? Or does it like 95% of the community fall off?
I guess it depends on the company.
So the difference is when you buy NFTs outside of Veve, how do you like stay engaged with the NFTs? You don't. You watch them on OpenSea, like you can sell them. Like now, if you can take all of those NFTs from different projects or a cumulative of several, and then put them into a space that you can design where you have companies, like large companies, including like large organizations, and artists who can actually create content and build a space surrounded by an actual social metaverse. That's Kalisto.
That's a very good point. Adam Awesomeface says, I hope everyone has an Uber. Have fun and be safe. We don't have one yet. We're going to get one.
Later.
Later.
We'll get it later.
Later.
Vivi Fam Bam, can I ask you a couple of questions? They're a little personal.
Sure, except I don't know how that's going to work out.
How do you balance being a mom of grown children and young children in conjunction with your investing?
I just kind of ignore my in real life and just go for the crypto life right now. But they all know, all my kids know I'm all in crypto, and I let them know how to get into it. They're into it as well. Not as much as I am, but.
And when you got into this, or what attracted you to the Veve and Omi fam?
You know what?
What was the first thing that made you go, hey, this might be different?
I first got into crypto in January of 2020, January 1st of 2021. And I like technology. So just getting into that, all I knew was Bitcoin and Ethereum. I opened my first account and I saw all these different cryptos and I was like, whoa, like what is this? Like, why do we need multiples? What's going on? And I just immediately was obsessed and I dug in and I found out like, okay, what's the best crypto? You know, I just started investigating all of them. Why are they there and what can we do with each one?
And you're like,
so utility.
Luna's the best one.
I was like, Luna.
So
all day.
utility was really important to you.
Yes, and so then I was like January 1st, and then by the end of January, I had already heard about Omi. So I heard about Omi, but I didn't know how to buy it. I saw how to buy it, but I didn't know how to buy it. So I had somebody helped me learn. It took about a month before I found this person, and they helped me learn how to buy Omi. So I got into that. They told me at that time after I bought Omi, they're like, okay, now go download the Veve app. So I got the Veve app, and it was all over after that.
What was your first NFT that you bought?
Pepperino, the little pony.
That's amazing. I love that.
No, the first day I got into Veve was the same day they closed it for
Marketplace.
Yes, they closed the market. So I was at work and I got into Veve and I saw the marketplace and I was like, okay, I'll get into this when I get home. I closed it and then that's when I got a message like, hey, we're gonna close this for a few days because the server overload.
So
yeah,
we got a super chat from Jeff Bevan saying, I can't wait to meet you all in Australia. What is it gonna take for you guys to go to Australia?
Omi going.
My next live stream, if you could just like super chat me $1,400, that'd be great. I'll be in Australia if you do it.
Taps will go live tonight. I will be there. We're sharing a hotel room, but not a bed.
2 a.m., maybe 3 a.m.
Yeah, in like 6 hours from now, we guys will probably do that.
Join us on a very sober super chat. Or sorry,
Let's not do sober.
sober live stream. Yeah.
So, Taps, there's an Oscar Wilde quote that says, I cannot do what I like because I run from falling star to falling star, meaning that there's too much for him to do. Do you feel the same way, moving from streaming to job to other job because you just got a new one recently?
Constantly.
Yeah. How do you go and do that? How do you balance your life?
Deep questions.
So that's
I got
actually
something to do.
fantastic. So
You're next.
love the quote. It's really hard. Like honestly, before I started doing content, which was
Look at those arms. Sorry.
when I started doing content last year, like I never done YouTube before. Sorry. I had no idea what was going to become of it, and I didn't expect to be anything. And like, I went from just being a swing trader and a long and like stock and crypto trader to having a community and not really expecting it to be anything. And like that became my life. Like it had an effect on my personal physical relationships, and it had an effect on my job. And like when I made a job switch, like I realized my job performance shot down. That's why I've not been doing as much content, and I had to like rekindle it. That's why I had to do it. So I understand the question or the quote, and it is very hard to balance it all. Same thing with your like investments. Is like it makes sense to like have like Omi, and that's it, right? Because it's one thing to focus on. but it's very, very hard if you like have to balance it all. But my thing is like opportunity knocks on multiple doors. So if you're in one thing, yes, it's easier, but the easy path is not always the right path. So
Good point. The road less traveled is
like
what you mean.
I love Omi, I love Veve, and digital collectibles are amazing, and this company is the most amazing company I've seen out of all the companies I've ever worked with ever.
And you've worked with a lot of big name brands.
I have. However, there's also really important crypto that are making waves in the space that are actually more important to the overall, either it's finance or integrations or like whatever. So I still diversify. You know, I know you don't, Randy.
I do not.
But yeah, so it's a lot of balance. But if you don't have that time,
So
find the right one.
if you were asked to present information to policymakers in the U.S. about Web3, what would be your advice to them?
So okay, political.
Also, keeping America
That's
first.
super broad.
Okay.
If we're talking like really like my advice to Web3, I know no one's gonna like this.
Do it.
You need to govern it.
Agreed,
You
100,000%.
really need to set parameters because it's too wild, wild west right now.
Yeah.
And I know no one wants to hear that in Web3, but at the same time, it legitimizes it.
That's how you get big companies to go in.
And that will create less jobs, unfortunately, but it needs to go there. And like less people get rugged, less people will like make bad decisions if you actually make it, like put some parameters in place.
Agreed. We got Jeff Bevan also super chatting saying, when I super chatted Taps at the last DCON, he said, punch a few schooners in, he snobbed me. I don't have money, only NFTs. Punch a few schooners? Punch a few schooners?
And he snobbed me. I snobbed you?
He didn't mean it.
I didn't mean to.
Taps
I'm sorry.
Taps is like, we love Taps. So, Robbie, you are on my fridge. You're at Wet Wizard Veve on Twitter. Tell me, you have about 100-something sets, correct?
Yeah, something along those lines.
Okay. What made you go from getting a couple of sets to putting in the 5 or 6 figures that you needed to put in to get 100 sets? What was the catalyst that made you go to that?
Shit, well, that's a very deep question, and I've been drinking since 6 in the morning.
Same.
Full transparency. But honestly, I had some conversations with some people that were really big, like kind of whales in the group. You know, fortunately, I was able to reach out to Telegram to people I diagnosed that were kind of whales. Fortunately, I got lucky within the crypto space at that time. Not anymore. My shit's down in the dumps, like everybody.
Same.
But at that time, I had a little bit of capital to play with. I reached out to some of the whales, and kind of just picked their brains.
The kiddos
are
done. Randy,
Enjoy. Bye. Bye.
Hey, brother.
Everybody, say goodbye to Kika Veve. She's around here. Everyone say bye to the stream. As you were saying.
Yeah. Hey, take care. It was good seeing you.
I love you guys. You guys are great.
Yeah, so, I was fortunate, and I kind of just was able to see the vision from what they were doing. Veve is just something totally unique, something totally different. They're doing something that has never been done. They're bringing together companies that were arch rivals. They're the glue that are bringing together. And, I was able to kind of pick their brains, and I just see the future of what they're doing, and since being in there, it's nothing but been solidified. There's ups and downs, it happens, but I mean the future is very bright. Being here, knowing the team, I'm very comfortable with what I've done and continue to hold.
When was the last time you put this amount of money into any one project?
Never. Never. I mean, I went early on. I went pretty big into VeChain. Nothing in comparison, but like VeChain and stuff like that.
So this was the first time you put at least 5 figures, almost 6. Can you specify or give a ballpark of the amount that you put into the Acomi system between Omi and Veve?
Probably a couple seashells,
Giant. And she was
a couple cents.
$9.
No, she was like,
Yeah, I don't want to go all crazy into that, but yeah, a couple seashells.
Max. Okay. That is great. I love hearing from everybody. I love hearing that you're doing this. Is there anything that Veve could do at this point that could make you say, I'm out?
No, I mean, they're on point. Like literally, Veve, their team, Dan, David, Reese, Alex, these guys are at the cutting edge of technology. These guys are creating the future, and their team is hitting on all cylinders. Like everybody loves them, everybody respects them. The artists that they're connecting with, the companies they're connecting with, all that means something. You know, the fan base, the community, all that means something. They're at the cutting edge of it, and I wouldn't feel comfortable in any other hands. I feel completely comfortable in their hands.
So, in your travels, you've had to have done a lot of things in order to get this type of money to put into this. What was the biggest catalyst for you getting this money in order to be able to invest in Veve? What did you do beforehand?
So I worked in sales. I came from like a real estate mortgage background, so I really grinded super hard for a long time to kind of get the capital to play within crypto. I think Veve and crypto I think are the future. So that's where my money's at. That's where I put my cards in. And I just worked my ass off. Came in early, stayed late, 11, 12-hour work days. I had to do what I had to do to get the cash to be able to do it. And it's still early. Like, fuck, I wish I would have bought my OMI at this price. So it's not over. It's still possibly going to go down more. So if you got to fucking work your ass off to get the money.
And one last question
Gotta do
for you. What's the most important thing that you've learned in life thus far?
Oh, that's deep. I don't know. I don't know. Smile, have a good time.
Okay, what about you? What about you two? What's the most important thing that you have learned, whether it be from television or family or a life lesson?
Stay relentless.
And you, Taps?
I'd say no matter what you do, as long as you enjoy doing it with the people that you enjoy around you, you're going to win.
So, like the great Britney Spears said in Crossroads, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
I love you guys. This is Randy Chavez, Taps, and Veve Fan Bam signing off. We all love you. Much love and peace to everyone. Be nice to each other. I love you all.
Always do the right thing.
Okay. Thank you guys for the interview. That was great. I need